I personally would invest a dime in silver, I would put my dime into my food supply. And I'm not talking buying freeze dried, although plenty of people can seem to exist on it. My vibrational state is such that I can't live on those dense, compacted foods. It just doesn't work.
Right.
So in my case, what I'm doing is I'm getting the extra little 18-inch grow bulbs, and I'm putting in some more fluorescence, and I'm refining my system of food production here on my little tiny place in the Pacific Northwest.
Okay. Great. That sounds good. And let's see, any other, I guess before we go, I'll ask you, would there be one major event or date that you're looking at 2011 saying, this one looks like a big one to me, or is it possible to pick it by date or even a span of days?
It's a span, and it's relative to. It's actually it's kind of a coin toss. The question for me this year, above everything, is which of the solar cycles will go into continuous activity. The whole CA thing, the whole continuous activity thing, has to be understood. We'll reach because we're in a solar process that is reaching a crescendo, and will start a whole new cycle soon. And we're at the end of that solar cycle. We're at a point where solar activity will become extreme, and we'll start using words like extreme and severe and exceptional about it. And at some point, the activity of the sun will enter a cycle, and every single day of that 88-day cycle will produce effects here on the planet in the form of new volcanoes, new giant earthquakes, giant sinkholes forming, and this kind of stuff as Earth reacts. Now, bear in mind, it won't end with that 88-day cycle. The next 88-day cycle will also be continuous activity, but it'll just escalate.
Okay.
And so my thing for me is, which of these cycles will it be? April 19th, or will it be July 15th? I basically have a sort of a little bet going with some guys in Europe that it'll be the July 15th cycle that will start the continuous activity. And there's an interesting linguistic side effect from this, because whenever that continuous activity cycle starts, as a temporal marker, shortly thereafter, we find a major shift, realignment, if you will, of emotional connotators and descriptors for the populace of the planet as a whole. Now, I'm choosing my words carefully here. One of these cycles will occur. We'll see activity on the sun that the mainstream media will have to report, just like they had to report what occurred on August 1,
Right.
because it was so exceptional. Only we'll all feel it down here, so we'll know what's going on, and they'll have to start addressing it. And at that point, we'll see a mass awakening, a huge thirsting quest on the part of a significant portion of the populace of the planet. Now, that portion of the populace might only be 2 or 3%. It might not be 30%, but even that 2 or 3% suddenly waking up and deciding things are not in the reality structure that they've been sold by the powers that be, and that something is up, that 2 or 3% shift will cause a giant emotional wave to go around the planet Earth, and nothing will be the same from that point on. It won't be a tipping point. It's not like that. It's an entirely different, it's like a context shift, like we had a number of years back when all of a sudden the issue of illegal aliens in the United States, erupted out as though a spontaneous occurrence. That one was planned. This one isn't, and this one is going to take the powers that be not by surprise, but it will capture their attention in a way that nothing has in probably decades.
All right, well, it'll be fascinating stuff. Well, thank you again so much for joining us. I sure appreciate it. And if people want to follow you online, you have a website that they can go to, right?
Yeah, I've got halfpasthuman.com, but I don't want anybody following me. I want humans to go out and think for themselves.
Beautiful, I love it.
Assume all of my stuff is bullshit and go find your own answers.
Hey, mine too, while you're at it.
Okay, there we go, man.
All right. Well, hey, thanks so much, Cliff. We sure appreciate it, and we'll be right back with Alien Addictions.